So I saw a clip this week, and today we're going to talk about it. Here's the clip.
You should give your mom a big hug and tell her it's from the Undertaker.
The first thing I want to say in this little topic that we're covering is that is $1,000 cameo. That right there cost that person $1,000.
Yeah, I bet. I'm not surprised.
I don't know where to start except for holy shit.
Yeah.
What would I want the Undertaker to say if I gave him $1,000? Like I imagine he'd say literally anything for $1,000. Like he would say anything. Like I was thinking like first we could really get the tribalist mad if I just make him say positive things about AEW.
You think? I don't know. I think he would have to pay. You would have to pay more than $1,000 to get the Undertaker to betray his precious WWE, don't you
Well,
think?
I don't want him to shit on the WWE. I just want him to say the AEW catchphrase or like talk about how great Will Ospreay
Yeah.
is. Like that would be the only thing I would get him to do is I would make him say something like AEW, we're the best wrestle. What would you make the Undertaker say?
My podcast intro.
Of course you would. That's all you think about is getting wrestlers to intro your podcast.
Yeah. Well, have you ever done or ordered a cameo before?
No, I never have.
So the talent or the person that you're ordering it from, they have to approve it. So if they don't like what you're requesting, they'll like just deny your request.
How much money is he going to make me pay him to say that AEW is where the best wrestle? Could you think he'd do it for $3,000? Do you think there's a
Yeah.
number in his mind, or do you think pride takes over and there isn't a number that you could reach that could make him say that AEW is where the best wrestle?
Well, then you also gotta think about it. Do you want the Undertaker to say AEW were the best wrestle in character form, or do
Yes.
you want him to do it in like Mark Calloway?
No, no, no. I want him to be fully dressed up like a fucking buffoon. Because that is why this is funny. This wouldn't be funny if it was Mark Calloway saying, "You should tell your mom to you should give your mom a hug from the Undertaker." It wouldn't be funny if he was like, "Hey, Mark says you should give your mom more hugs." I
Yeah,
wouldn't
they'd
like it
probably
as
have to
much.
be like, yeah, I'd say like probably like 3 or 4 thousand bucks, probably.
I've been having so much fun just cutting up individual pieces of this all day. Like this is the best thing that's happened to me in 2025. Like I don't think I could have started off my year better than seeing the Undertaker in full character telling a dude to hug his mom more. This is just my life is just so much better from finding this. And now I have this special video and every time somebody says something I don't like on TikTok, I'm just going to post this video.
Your mama.
Your mama. Your mama all day long, every time. Like anytime somebody's like AEW sucks, your mama. That's how
Hell
we
yeah,
do it.
dude. It is, dude. It's crazy to see Undertaker doing shit like that, man. Like, remember a while ago we talked about how crazy it was that he was podcasting, and now that
Yeah.
fool's fucking doing cameos, dude. It's
Well, I
wild.
think this is probably like 3 or 4 years old. I bet he's not doing cameos anymore. Like I think the podcast
Yeah,
money has probably gotten him out of being dressed in the Undertaker costume if he doesn't want to. In fact, I'm pretty sure he said no to being dressed in the Undertaker costume recently for like I think it was WrestleMania. They were like, "Hey, will you dress?" No, dude, no, I'm not going to dress
yeah,
like a 68-year-old Undertaker. No, I'm not
yeah,
doing that, dude. It's not comfortable, and I'm an old man.
yeah. They have like their time when they do it. Like, oh, I'm gonna do cameos for like a month, so everyone get your cameos in during this time.
Have
So
you ever
yeah, I
ordered a
wouldn't be
cameo?
surprised. Yes, dude.
Have you ordered one?
Yeah. I ordered one once from Brian Pillman Jr. before he went to NXT.
Oh,
Um,
at AEW, Brian Pillman Jr. What a fucking surprise from you.
yeah, dude. I did that. My wife ordered one for me from Thunder Rosa,
That's kind of
which is
dope.
really cool.
Did you
Yeah,
used
and
to be
like
an AEW fan and you're not anymore? Is that what happened?
I still am. What do you,
No,
I've
you're
always been an
not.
AEW
Just be
fan.
honest. We're all friends here. We know who you are.
No, dude, I do. I like AEW. I like certain people more than others in AEW. Like Thunder Rosa was
Yeah,
was
she's great.
cool. I always like Brian Pillman Jr. Yeah, dude, it's fun.
I want to get like a cheap cameo, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to pull it off. Like, I need to get a cameo from like, remember the pizza wrestler that just flipped the pizzas around? Bet that dude's
Yeah,
on Cameo somewhere. Luigi, his name's Luigi Primo. That's the
yeah,
guy I want
yeah.
to get a cameo from. Probably like 10, $15. He'll flip a pizza and tell me that he likes my podcast, or I could just tell him to get
Oh,
him to tell me to give my mom more hugs.
You should give your mom a big hug.
yeah, dude, you'd be surprised. There's some good people on there that don't charge a lot of money. Like I remember Brian Pillman Jr. was only like $30 or something like that at the time.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
Rather get his dad.
Damn, dude,
I'm going to hell. I'm
you're
going
going
to
to
total
hell.
hell tonight, man.
Come on, Bubbo. All right, so what else would you get Undertaker to say if you're paying one besides the AEW thing?
I have a lot of things that I just don't know if they're good ideas. Like, I want him to like quote famous lines in movies. Like, that's my next go-to. Is I want him to
Oh,
do like the Die Hard quote. Do you know it?
no.
But he'd be like, "This is me doing my best Undertaker impression. Yippee ki motherfucker."
Just the yippee ki yay was funny enough. I can't imagine that. Dude, can you imagine a fucking a shout out from the Undertaker for your show?
Well, so the recent package I saw, which is so much worse than $1,000, it just makes me sick to my stomach that there are people out there that are just like, "Here, take $10,000," but it's $10,000 and you get a suite at WrestleMania. The Undertaker comes and hangs out with you for one or two matches. You get a photo op. You get a meet and greet. You get to play Top Golf with Miz the week of WrestleMania, which I don't know why that's in there. It just feels kind of weird. Like the Miz was trying to get away and just do some Top Golf, and they're like, "Oh, you want to
Yeah.
Top Golf? Well, do it with a fan."
Mm-hmm.
Poor guy, can't get away
Yeah,
from us no matter what.
don't you get like some type of merch too or memorabilia or something like that
Yeah,
with
something
that
like that,
package?
like a signed belt or something. But you should probably get one of Undertaker's arms for $10,000, right? This
I
seems
don't know
fucking
if I would.
ridiculous, dude.
Dude, I mean that's WrestleMania prices for you this year, dude. I
That ain't
fucking
WrestleMania prices for me, buddy. I ain't going.
no,
So
dude. I had a buddy that was down to pay that much. He's like, "Hey, if we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this right." I'm like, "I'm not spending $10,000
I'm gonna tell
for
you, dude.
that."
So Royal Rumble will be here in a month, right?
Hmm.
And the highest of the highs are like $200, and that's out of my price range. Like, I'm not paying $200 to sit in the nosebleeds. But the best part about big pay per views with WWE is all around town, GCW and Revolver and all these indie companies are coming. I'm gonna light up my week with just indie shows all week long, and hopefully I can see some
Nice.
Raw wrestlers that I don't get to see very much. You know what I mean? But we don't have a hotbed for wrestling, so whenever something like this happens and people want to come into town, let's go. And I don't got to pay them $1,000 to tell me that they want to, that I need to hug my mom more.
You should give your mom a big hug.
They'll do it for free just because
Yeah,
they
that'd
want
be
to.
dope, dude. Yeah, that's
You can
fun. That's one of
definitely
the
get some of them to intro your podcast, buddy.
yeah, that's one of the things I'm looking forward to for WrestleMania. Not just like the actual show itself, but everything that's gonna happen around WrestleMania. That shit's gonna be dope.
That was
Uh,
the best part about it being in Tampa, to be honest. Like when it was in Tampa, there was so many like random little shows. Like Jordan Grace showed up and did a show like the night before, and Effie came in town and did a show like the week of. And it's like all these wrestlers that I really love that you're not going to get to see on a regular basis will just show up and do indie shows, and they're not that much. Like it's less than $30 for all of them, you know. And that's like
mhm.
that's the way it should be, dude. Like we're getting to a point where everything's too expensive, and I understand. Like I'm not complaining. I'm not being the guy on the hill that's like you should lower your prices. Like no, if people will pay it, charge it. You know.
Yeah,
But at the same time, I'm I can't I can't make myself want to pay $500 to go see a wrestling event. Like I want to, and I love wrestling so much, but like even at $500, the seats are not going to be good enough to justify me paying $500.
yeah,
So that's where
no,
I'm at. And like I'd
yeah,
rather buy a cameo from the Undertaker.
for 1,000.
Maybe not. That's so fucking ridiculous. Like, doesn't that
I
just
mean,
make your
it's
stomach hurt?
yeah, dude, because it's cool, it's fun, like when you first get it, but like the cameos that I've gotten, like it's not like I go back and listen to them again. You know, it's just like,
Yeah,
oh, cool, like I
it's a
got
one
it
and
already.
done. It's like the
Yeah,
butterfly effect. I'm never gonna watch that motherfucker again.
yeah. So I mean, I would get buyer's remorse like up the ass if I spent that much for a cameo. You know,
Yeah,
even
yeah. I'm so cheap, dude. I couldn't do it. Like I'm telling you, like I would hate myself. I would hate myself if I spent $200 on wrestling tickets too. Like that's why I'm not gonna end up going unless I look at game time and the night before Royal Rumble. It's like, hey, $40. Then I'm like, yeah, I'm in. You got
yeah,
me.
dude. I mean, for $1,000, I would love to like ask him a couple questions, man. Like how did you escape the casket that was lit on fire by Kane that one time? Do you remember when they lit up the fucking casket on
Mhm.
fire and they
Oh
were
yeah,
trying to
of course I do.
axe him, yeah, cut that thing open and get him out, and he was gone. I'm like, there's got to be a trap door or something down there, right? Like, I don't know, got to reveal some secrets or something, for that
Not for a
much
thousand
money.
bucks. If he's charging 10,000 to come to your suite to hang out for 20 minutes, imagine what he'd ask you for you to. Imagine what his podcast rate is. Like if you're like, hey, why don't you come on my podcast? I wonder what his per diem is. It's got to be like 3 grand at least, dude.
Yeah,
Has to be
something crazy.
because there's
Yeah,
no
but
way
that shit
he's going
was
on random man's podcast to just talk about the old days. You know what I mean? Unless it's his friend, unless it's like the Godfather's got a podcast now or something. I don't know.
yeah, I don't think the Undertaker's hurting for money like that either, dude. You
Yeah, I
know,
don't either. I don't either.
he
But you know what? You know what Ted DiBiase says? Everybody's got a price, and we just need to figure that out, and then we can get him to say, "Where's the beef?"
Oh man. You're listening to Snug Wrestling. Nah, I don't
Your Undertaker just sounds stoned.
know.
You're listening to Snug Wrestling in the morning with the Undertaker.
Snug Wrestling. No, I don't know.